I'm Maz.
And I'm Natalie. Welcome to the Stride Sisters podcast. On today's episode, I am joined by a special guest for the Happiest two-part special. Maz interviews me about Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend 2026, from the travel aspect and the expo through 5K day. Don't worry, we're absolutely covering how on earth I got that last-minute 5K bib. Tune in next week for the rest of the race and trip report. So, lace up your shoes and step into the magic with us. Hi, everybody. Feels like long time no talk because mostly it's been a while since I've recorded. Having been pre-recorded prior to Disneyland for the Princess Event Guide, feels like it's been a minute. So, hope everybody is doing well. It's February, well into February at this point, and that is exciting. I'm going to talk about it over the next 2 weeks, but Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend was amazing. And I am so excited for you to hear my recap of that. In terms of training, I started Run Fit Mama's program, Sculpt and Soar. And so far, so good. I am freaking sore, to say the least, but I'm really excited for this new challenge and having a little bit of a reset with doing more strength training over the next several months and then, cutting back a little bit on my running volume. I am trying to run a little bit, or at least, get out on walks, especially as we've had gorgeous weather up by me, which is a very great comparison to what it was a couple weeks ago. And it's nice. I can barely lift my arms right now as I'm recording because I had a really heavy arm workout on Saturday. But, that's just how the cookie crumbles. You got to get uncomfortable. In order to get stronger, you have to make yourself a little uncomfortable and keep pushing different boundaries. So I'm excited to get into that and keep it on with that. And I think by the time it's time for me to get back into training, like running training, that I will have missed it. So I think this is a really, really good reset for me that I'm excited to take on. I have not heard any Blister Brigade items, and I'm hoping that holds. As always, let a girlie know if you have a big honkin' blister. I made it out pretty okay from Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend. I had a little aggravation of it didn't even fully blister, but it got a little and then it went bye-bye. So not really much to report here. Not name-worthy. So, and it wasn't my blister that was part of the Seven Dwarfs. So, I'm going to go into the days until our next race and registration dates. So we have 16 days until Princess Half Marathon Weekend 2026, which means it's peak week. So good luck if you're on your longest runs and your simulations if you're doing them. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you have great weather for it, but just do your best, do what you can, and then it's time for taper, baby, after that. So that'll be exciting. And yeah, so just try to get through that big old 14 if you're doing the half, or 6.5 if you're doing the 10K, or 3.5 if you're doing the 5K. And, then you're cruising until it's race week, which is coming so close. We've got 65 days until Springtime Surprise Weekend 2026. One other thing. So Princess is a week later this year. So I believe usually I wait till we're about 9 days out, but it's time for my favorite announcement, which is download your PhotoPass photos from last year if you haven't already. And I definitely still have to myself. So the call out always comes from inside the house, but download your PhotoPass photos if you're an annual pass holder who has not yet done that. 65 days until Springtime Surprise Weekend 2026. And whenever we hit that 65-day mark, that always tells me it's time to start thinking about your advanced dining reservations, depending on when your stay begins. This is assuming that your stay check-in is on Expo Day. So your advanced dining reservation window will be coming up if it's not already here. So think about what plans you want to make. If there's any hard-hitting reservations you'd like to get, usually the advice is to put whatever you really, really, really want in some of those harder to get reservations later in your stay because fewer people have access to those days. And good luck. Let me know if you're trying anything new for the first time. That'll be fun. I still don't have a bib. So TBD if I'm there, which again usually means probably. We have 254 days until Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend 2026. General registration is today. So if you're listening to this and you have the blue circle of waiting in your queue, good luck. Hopefully the queue gods are nice to you. And we don't see dwarves today, besides Grumpy with the Grumpy Challenge. Your proof of time deadline is June 1st, 2026. And I haven't quite gotten when the shirt deadline is. So once I get that from somebody, I'll let you know. Right now, I am not registered for Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend. I lotteried for the New York City Marathon. And I figured that and it's not a direct conflict of actual overlapping dates, but I figured it's close enough that should I get in, that will crunch both weekends. So I don't know. I know that I've never been to New York City, so I know Mr. Natalie and I will try to make a little bit more of a trip out of that. So if I don't get in, which I'll find out in a couple of weeks, then I'll pursue a Wine and Dine bid, either the charity route or try to get lucky with the Discord opening. But right now I felt like that was the smarter decision to do because I don't want to undercut, either experience. And I know that 13 is a little high to be the week before a marathon. At least for me, I prefer not to be quite that high that week for my last long run. I usually like to do my last super long one a little bit further out. So we'll see. We'll see. And maybe here I am eating my words. At the time I'm recording, just to be clear, I still could make that decision otherwise and use my clear registration to get the challenge because that's what I would do. But I don't know. I think it's smarter for me to just kind of wait because you can't always get the lottery. It feels like nobody ever gets picked, but people obviously do get picked. And who knows, maybe it could be my lucky day. I will say it's something that I'm not as committed to the idea of doing it as to seek a charity bib at this point. Having just been generously funded for Chicago in fall of 25, it's definitely a bucket list thing. And I would definitely reroute some of my plans. So as I'm saying, oh yeah, excited to strength train for a couple months exclusively. Obviously I'd reroute my plans and incorporate more running and get myself trained for New York City should I be so lucky as that to happen for me. But anything can happen if you let it, to keep with the Mary Poppins theme. But I'm going to go into a little bit more about Wine and Dine in the news segment. We have 330 days until Marathon Weekend 2027. Club Run Disney registration begins on March 10th, and then general registration is on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. So one thing I feel like I keep seeing, and I have been seeing this week, is that charities are starting to get their allotments of bibs. I would say that if your favorite charity doesn't quite have them yet, don't worry yet. They're finalizing contracts. So, but if there's a charity that you really want to run for, or some of them do have their bibs. I saw people get their Kelsey's Hope bibs, Scott Carter Foundation, just a couple of the different ones out there that might have it. So reach out to your favorite charity orgs. They might just tell you, hey, we are trying to finalize our bibs and finalize our contracts with Disney. So they might not quite have them yet, but it's always good to reach out a little early to charity to try to, get on their list. So as soon as they do get their things finalized, you can, get in with them if you want to just be locked in and not have to worry at all on March 17th, which is always a good thing to do. to just be locked and loaded. I mean, that's probably the best part of Club Run Disney. Although, again, I'm always in the pit too anyway, because there's always somebody I'm trying to help register on registration day. So I'm always in the pit too. And then it's also, I'm like a little sweatier on that aspect because I'm like, oh my gosh, like if I don't get somebody else, like I feel terrible about it, even if, anyway. On to news. I did tell you that I would keep y'all updated as we have updates in the Princess Half Marathon Weekend event guide. Still no transportation information for yoga. So I will keep looking back at that every week to see if they have that updated. Or if that's going to be just something that's at your resort if you're doing it. I kind of have a hard time believing that because the way it's worked in the past, it's been so silent. It's been so like, you are getting on the contemporary bus at this time. They did fix the expo guide of the athletic center, which this is like the vendor building where you get your shirts and then all the other different vendors. There are no longer two booth 213s. Fit to Run is booth 231, so that's the big block. It kind of makes sense that they have the three in a row. And then Crowned Athletics is booth 213. So mystery solved, everybody. Little typo there. But what I actually really wanted to talk about was that the Galloway pace groups are now listed in the event guide. So have a cute little graphic and all. And you'll go into the half marathon. They're available for distances 10 miles and up. So they won't be in the 10K portion, just the half marathon. And then, for springtime, it'll be the 10 miler. During marathon weekend, they do have them for both the half and the full. It lists out the time, the pace, the ratio, and pacer names are no longer listed as of the start of this season. So if you're looking for CC and Katie or some of your other favorite pacers, they don't list them. And I think, I do think that's probably a good change so that people aren't like, oh, darn, I'm not running with CC when that other pacer did come here to do their job and execute their job too. Even though we all quite love Pacer Force and we love, it'd be an honor to run with Twigs one day as well. Or Jack from Rise and Run. It's good. I think it's for the best that they don't it's almost like a discouragement before they can even get there started. Pacers will meet 1 hour before the corral closing time behind the spectator viewing area near the finish line. If you go to the Epcot start staging map in the event guide, there's a big star as to where that is. You can also just meet the pacers in your corral, but if you kind of want to walk over together, be established with them and stuff, have any questions going into it, that would be probably the best way to do so. I'm going to list out the pacers per corral. Again, this is there is a really helpful graphic in there. It's all Rapunzel and cute. Group A has the 145 and 2 hour pacers. Group B has the 215 pacers. Group C has the 230 pacers. Group D also has 230 pacers, but also 245 pacers. Group E has 250 pacers. Group F is 3 hour pacers. And Group G has 3 pace groups, 310, 320, and 330 pacers. If your pace group that you're looking for is a corral behind you, you can always drop back to that corral. If they're ahead of you, you can't do anything about that. So kind of the recommendation I would give you, and I believe this mirrors what Chris Twiggs' advice is to run with the pacers that are in your group, at least kind of to get started. And then if you feel like you can, say you are running with the 230 pacers and you feel like you can run a 215, you can always drop them and run ahead. If you got the legs, they, especially toward the end of the race, I believe the pacers do. I've never been with the pace groups that late in the race, but usually they encourage you to go. If you've got the legs, just go. And they kind of like when you leave in a good way. Again, when you report back, yeah, I PR'd by a lot. So I'd recommend just running with them, chase that negative split, especially through, I feel like Magic Kingdom, they can kind of keep you on pace. Some of those more crowded areas leading into Magic Kingdom. And then maybe once you're back to the TTC, drop them or stay with them the whole time. That's my best advice. I would probably not recommend trying to chase the pace group unless you have the legs for a 205, then maybe try to chase the 215 pacers, but you don't want to gas out. But anyway, I will keep you posted as to any other updates in the Princess Event Guide. Especially, I am so interested about the yoga thing. hopefully there's information on that soon so that people can make their plans accordingly for it for Monday morning yoga. Like I mentioned before, Wine and Dine registration is today, so good luck. Hopefully the queue is nice to you. I'm so interested to see how everything goes, especially with the expanded 5K registrations and whatnot. Now, this is the first race registration of a new season. So we have a couple little differences and nuances in there, which I did look at going into, or, I didn't execute my club rep one, but I did look because that's just what I do. There was a note for the challenge about acknowledging that your proof of time is going to be used to seed you in your corral for the 10K. So there's not a separate drop down for what estimated finish time are you going to, or what's your estimated pace per mile for the 10K. It's just a check mark, acknowledge it, which is different, but also with how Walt Disney World specifically has operated, it makes a lot of sense, right? They've been doing this anyway at Walt Disney World, where you've had just one letter on your bib, and for both races of the challenge, if you're registered for the challenge. And they haven't split corrals since Princess in 2023. And when I mean split corrals, I don't mean the lanes they've been doing in the non-POT corrals. I mean what they do at Disneyland, which is a letter, then a line, then a letter. So, for example, if you look at pictures of me from this past Disneyland weekend, mine happened to be the same, but I will use it as an example. It was B, and then a line, and then a B for my Dumbo Double Dare bib. They haven't done that at Walt Disney World, again, since Princess of 2023. I mean, this indicates to me that they will, do the same thing. They will not bring back the split corrals, but that's all I really got on, or really got on that. So for me, it's funny because I think every time I've had a split corral, it's been the same letter. Besides when they give you two different bibs for Dopey, where in that case I have been B and then D, or in 2020, that was 2023. In 2025, I was A and then C. And then this year, well, we went over that. How I was originally G and G, but then I provided my valid POT at Runner Relations, got stickers for both my bibs to put me into C. Another thing is that I was rooting around in the FAQs just on the Run Disney website, and there is a little section about the Wine and Dine 5K of 2026, which I found interesting. So I'm going to read these verbatim because I think it's interesting because we still don't really have a lot of information. I looked at my club registration and nothing was noted for the 5K. I didn't see anything like, oh, pick what time you want to start. It was just the same as usual of what is your estimated pace per mile? So what time does the 2026 Wine and Dine 5K begin? And Run Disney's answer on the FAQs is the first group of runners for the 2026 Disney Wine and Dine 5K will start at 4:30 a.m., 30 minutes earlier than before. Participants' start times will range from 4:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., based on assigned start groups. Arrival times will vary based on your start time. There's another FAQ. How will participants' start times and arrival times work? Participants will be notified of their start time via email. Stay tuned for more information. That's all we got so far. Okay. Speculatively, I do think that we are going to run several almost races here. I feel like that's just what it's going to have to be. Maybe they said notified via email. I don't know. I'm just so interested because there's going to have to be something on your bib that notes that you're a 4:30 versus a 5:30 versus a, 6:15 versus a 7:30. Because otherwise, and this is something that I don't want to say they haven't thought about because I'm sure they have, is there going to be, are we going to see the event guide sometime, in August or September? And it's going to say, you better start at your assigned start time, right? The biggest thing I have a question about is with kids, John on Rise and Run has talked about how his granddaughter has been separated from him and they fixed it for him. So, for some reason, if your child ends up in B and you're in D, you're going to have to, this might be a little bit bigger than that because if they're supposed to start at 5:15 and you're not supposed to start till 6:30, what's going on here? So I don't know. I'm still so interested in how this is going to work. as I discussed before, maybe I'll be there, maybe I won't for that extravaganza. I don't know. I am interested to see, because I feel like we're kind of almost blind signing up for something right now. I mean, it's not almost or kind of, it is, where we don't exactly know how that's going to be. And like, to me, like, I mean, like that 7:30 start time would be pretty sweet. But at the same time, like, even like 5:45 is good for me, right? If you compare to the marathon, if you compare to other times, like 5:45 is even, we're sleeping in, right? I don't know. And then also, if you consider that, not that everything is about marathon weekend or about Dopey, but in a month, I'll be signing up for probably the Dopey challenge, if we're being real, and which includes the 5K. So in terms of like that interest, I don't know when they're going to start giving that more information they're talking about. Because especially like we still don't have springtime surprise medals, which will be really, really funny if we got them yesterday. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's actually funny if I now have my foot in my mouth because we got them yesterday, and I'm going to catch up on some other newsy news, which I couldn't not touch on Dinosaur. It went on its final expedition on February 1st, 2026, and I was in a Disney park, but I was not in that Disney park. I was in California. I was at Disneyland, and it's so interesting to see some of like the love letters to attractions gone by. And obviously I wasn't here for this one, but just seeing some stuff on social media of just people in like lab coats, like they are Dr. Seeker. Dr. Seeker himself was there, and he was on the final ride, which I think is a really special, like, again, it's a love letter to an attraction that is extinct now. Someone said to me, it's like, they're not going to make it. Well, they didn't make it that time. Like, no, it's just that they actually, I choose to believe that they actually locked Dr. Seeker out of the system. They got better controls for the last time. Okay. But it hit 160-minute wait on its final day. And it was over 4 hours at a certain point, which is nuts. I mean, again, it's a love letter to an attraction gone by. Bill Nye the Science Guy narrating in the pre-show, not the pre-show, but like in the kind of queue area. Pretty sweet. But RIP Dinosaur. I am really excited for Tropical Americas to come, but it will be a little odd to go into Animal Kingdom, and like that's not an option for a little bit. But they say it's 2027 that we're going to get it. So 2027 is just a year away. Woo! Probably the biggest piece of news in this week was that Disney has named the successor to the CEO title once Bob Iger retires. And we had gotten some chatter about how Bob Iger probably wasn't going to he wasn't going to actually like stay in the CEO role until the end of his contract at the end of this calendar year. And it was kind of like a lot of the writing was on the wall that we were going to get this announcement soon. But Josh D'Amaro, who is the chairman of the parks, has been named the next CEO effective on March 18th, 2026. A little bit about Joshy Boy is that he began his career in 1998 at Disneyland and is currently chairman of the parks. He got his business degree from Georgetown University. And another piece of exciting news is that Dana Walden, which was one of the kind of highly regarded like other potential people to take over the role, it will become the president and chief creative officer of the Walt Disney Company. So it kind of seems like she and D'Amaro will be like a 1-2 punch. Walden previously served as the head of Disney Entertainment, media, news, and content businesses. And then Bobby Boy, Iger will remain a senior advisor and member of the board until his retirement on December 31st of 2026. So interesting leadership change inbound, I will say. Josh D'Amaro, I have run a Run Disney race with him. He smoked me, but he did do the Disneyland 10K with the first weekend back in 2024. So kind of neat. I believe I read that Iger has participated before. I know for a fact Josh has. So maybe that's good news for Run Disney fans. Interesting changes at the helm. I I admit I'm not probably as big a fan of tomorrow as most are. I have some critiques about some ways that have been handled, but I do want to kind of wish a good new era and growth upon the company and the stuff that I like. So I will be interested to see who is going to become the chairman of the parks next, too. So that'll be interesting to see who kind of takes over his role. Speaking of California Dreamin' and Disneyland, California Adventure is celebrating its 25th anniversary. It opened on February 8th of 2001, so 2 days before today. And the festivities to celebrate the 25th began on the 6th of February. Mickey and Minnie are in some really cute new outfits. Soarin' Over California has returned. It's back. And it'll run until July 2nd when the 250th America version of Soarin' Across America comes in. There is a special popcorn bucket in the shape of Pixar Pal-Around Ferris wheel, which is also known as Mickey's Wheel of Death. It is a really cute popcorn bucket, debuted a couple days after I left, unfortunately for me, but also probably fortunately so that I did not acquire it because that would have been a snap absolutely mine. There's some special food offerings. There is a spring deal at Disneyland Resort. You can save up to 25% on 3-night stays or more now through May 21st of 2026. There's also a California resident ticket deal going on through about that time as well. So exciting. California Adventure has definitely gone through a lot of changes over the years. So exciting to say a nice little happy birthday to it. Still a couple years before I'll probably do a deep dive on. I kind of when the episode drop date is on the anniversary date, that's when we do a deep dive. So still going to be a couple years away from that, but that it's cool. I love California Adventure. I honestly do. I think it's a fantastic park. Underrated for sure. Y'all know I was going to talk about this, but the Muppet Special. Let's talk about it. Muppet Special debuted on February 4th on Disney Plus. It was wonderful. I loved it. Mr. Natalie and I watched it together. I am so hopeful that we are setting the stage for more Muppets, especially with like the whole premise of things, without getting spoilery, of course, was that, you know, this is the first time back kind of doing a Muppet show in a while. And, you know, kind of being a little rusty with it, little kind of getting your grips back together. So I'm really hopeful that this being successful is going to bring us more Muppet Show. Miss Piggy and Sabrina Carpenter was everything that I needed and more. Let me tell you. It was so good. So good. I loved the interactions. I loved the two diva queens together. It was so good. I loved seeing Rizzo the Rat. I loved it. It was so good. Just so many good Muppets and just Muppety delightful goodness. It's not too long of a special. It's about 32 minutes long, I think. So if you haven't watched it yet, definitely tune in. And it's great. I loved it. So good. Alrighty. Gonna roll into my Disney fun facts, which are very apt to things that I've talked about today. It's like I planned it, but I didn't because that's just the Tuesday is the Tuesday, okay? So, on February 10th of 1870, the California city of Anaheim is incorporated. Its name is a blend of Anna, after the Santa Ana River, and Heim, which means home in German. Before Disneyland's opening in 1955, Anaheim was a massive rural community with agriculture as its principal industry. Pretty cool, right? On this day, also in 1951, Robert A. Iger is born on Long Island, New York. And he is currently the head cheese. Well, that's Mickey. He is currently the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. So I guess we knew this already, but he's celebrating his last birthday in the role of CEO before he retires. All right. Without further ado, you heard Maz back back in my day. You heard Maz back on episode 25 of the Stride Sisters podcast, which was all about hidden gems and spectating a Run Disney race. So we're going to welcome back enabler number 1 and Maz to the podcast to chat with me all about Disneyland. I am joined by not a stranger, but a friend. Some may say family. Now, who are you?
Wow, what a lovely intro. I am Maz. I'm a repeat guest, which is very exciting to be brought back. I am the older, some would say wiser, not many, cousin of the delightful Natalie.
Yes, this is Maz. If you want to hear a little bit more about Maz's story, episode 25.
Yeah, go listen to episode 25. Quick recap, though. I have been a lifelong Disney fan. I will take the credit / blame for bullying Natalie into her first Run Disney race. So, that's pretty big, I think. And I think relevant to this episode, Disneyland was actually the first park I ever visited. So I'm a Disneyland OGer before I went to Disney World.
Did you know my mom is too?
Really? Mm-hmm. So is mine. That's not surprising.
Oh, shocked. Oh man, I'm the odd one out now. It's like I'm Chloe.
Yeah.
That's Maz's younger sister.
The tables have turned.
Whoa.
We're all going to form a Disneyland OG club and leave you out.
That's okay. I accept it. It's okay. So, with your familiarity with Disneyland, I could not think of a better person to interview me about the ta-ta for now Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know I've been retired from Run Disney for a little bit, but I'm really excited to talk all things running Disneyland.
They're wild and out there sometimes. Or maybe it's just me. Yeah,
it might just be you. You might have a slight bias. But you know what? That's what we will uncover in this interview. It's going to be a good one.
That is true. So, shall we start with the 5K bib heard around the world?
Yeah, I just want to jump right in with the kerfuffle excitement that happened. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you happened to acquire that 5K bib?
So for weeks leading up to the race, even probably since I got the Dumbo Double Dare bibbed in October or so, did I have this idea that, it's not going to happen, but maybe somehow I'm going to get a 5K bib. During marathon weekend, I had heard some people getting bibs at the expo. And I'm like, there's no freaking way, but if I can get a 5K bib for during Disneyland weekend, I want to run that course one more time if I can. So fast forward to Thursday, to expo day, because a week out, it's like all Disneyland registrations are closed. And it's probably just not happening. But, I'm going to pack an extra costume. What's the worst that happens? I have an extra costume on me. And I have some choices and what I'm wearing. Okay.
Oh, no.
And I'm on the plane. I actually have a direct from Omaha, which is shocking, to LAX. And I'm an hour and change. I'm about 2-ish hours out when I kind of start hunting. And just hunting the Facebook pages to see if there was anybody who got one of those last minute bibs. I'm about an hour-ish out. And I see there's somebody else's post who had gotten a bib, but even on that comment, there was a comment saying, hey, I have a charity contact. This lady, because I was basically hey, make sure she gets hers first because she already made the post and I'm not going to piggyback off of something and swoop in and grab it. That's not how I operate. But I was but since Amanda got hers, hey. And I send a note to this lady where she sends me a picture of a sticky note that she had obtained.
A sticky note?
Yes. And so only at Run Disney is this something. And she goes, hey, contact this person. And so once I land, because basically I'm on basically like challenge mode. Like I'm like about to do something socially unacceptable to get off this plane like 82 seconds faster. Okay.
Of course.
Didn't actually do that. Did not actually do that. I behaved because then I still had to get my carry on. So, you got to do what you got to do. I'm like whipping through LAX, ordering my Uber, and then I send this message out. And I'm like, again, on like kind of like pins and needles, like, like waiting for, because the way that Uber pickup goes at LAX is that you go basically to like, you request your Uber, get your luggage, whatever. And then you go to the lot and it kind of like pairs you that way when it's really, really busy. It's actually kind of neat because basically you have a color and a pin and they have to like say the pin for you to get into it. So charity org is Cerebral Palsy Alliance Research Foundation. And I get a number with a sticky note. And I send a message. It's 5:30ish when I'm sitting in the Uber. And I send this message out. And the expo is open till 8. And LAX is not super close. It's not like super far, but it's going to be like 75 minutes. And I send a message and they're like, hey, we need to get names to Run Disney by 6 o'clock. I go, okay. She's like, this is what the donation amount is. I go, done. Send me the link. I can make the donation. It's like 5:45 and then I'm in.
That's incredible.
Crazy. It was a whirlwind because basically it was like, hey, like we have bibs, like just make like message this person. And so what happened with this was technically like that they're like, Run Disney has your name, go to Runner Relations as soon as you get there. So I go directly to the Disneyland Hotel, which was my plan all along. And part of the reason that it was so last minute is that I was like, I'm okay if I want to get this bib, but I'm okay if it doesn't happen because I wasn't going to give up my direct flight.
Yes.
They're so few and far between. And then I was supposed to land at 5:15. I landed at like 4:40. So I even had some extra bonus time, but I'm like, if I commit, what's going to happen is that I'm going to be delayed. I'm going to be one of those people trying to do that like last minute or, as more last minute as whatever. I'm like, maybe it's just not meant to be. But to this time, it was meant to be. So I roll into the expo, literally, because I knew that I could like leave my stuff with Bell Services because I had asked, I could have left them or my bags. But to me, it was just like, not that's going to take too much time because I had an hour of cushion. But I was kind of like, okay, like I just need to take it around with me, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you just need to get it.
Big chonker of my suitcase on the carpet there. Not so easy to roll around, but it's okay. I'm like dragging it with me. I'm like, stop. So I go to Runner Relations. I have to wait in the line. And then basically they registered me for the race there.
Oh, wow.
Because then because I grabbed a waiver on my way in because I knew I was going to have to sign one. And they register, they get my name, middle initial, all of like my information as if like, but it's on a piece of paper. So like all the different fields that I would need to register for the race are there. And then the lady registers me. And something new since you have participated in Run Disney is that we get a code on our check-in pass. That's our photo pass code.
Oh, interesting.
So it's not necessarily your bib number. It's like it's a random, it doesn't correspond to your confirmation number either. So it's like a randomly generated code. That's like, it'll say like DL half and then just code, or whatever it is. It's not, what's nice is that for something like Dopey, you only have to put it in once and it registers for all 4 races versus it used to be, WDW, 5K, bib number, WDW 5K or 10K bib number. So it's kind of nice that is like for every registration, this is how it works. And that started at Princess Half Marathon Weekend last year. So I had a little, I wouldn't say, because I was like, how do I get the photo pass? Because then they generated a check-in pass for me. And then the next day I ended up getting the code to it. I'm like, how do I get this? She's like, I did just generate it. But I legitimately, she's like, so like what pace per mile? I legitimately registered at the expo for a 5K.
That's absolutely incredible. I mean, like truly coming in under the wire. Like that's crazy.
I have a penchant for a last minute bib.
Yes. I mean, I will be honest. So I did get a text from you. This was my experience. I got a text from you at 6:02 California time that said, "Guess who's running the 5K?" And zero surprise. I would have been more surprised if you didn't end up running the 5K. Because there are a few things that you um, are more known for than snapping up a last minute bib.
Yeah, no kidding. It this one was special where I was like, I cannot believe this just happened. And they only had 5K bibs because I'm like, hey, like, do you have any other bibs to fill? Like, because
Right.
you just scratched my little back, I'm gonna scratch yours right back. They're like, no, we like. I actually did pass them along to somebody else I knew who was doing the half, who had done yoga and then was doing the half. It was a friend of my friend KG, and
Hmm.
she got registered for the 5K as well. So I did help them a little fill another bib, but I was like, do you have anything for like the half, the challenge? I'll use my very limited influence here to like help you fill them.
Yeah.
Because that's, every time I've gotten a last minute bib that's like charity related, I try to, I try to do my best to like, I'll pick that charity in the future because
Hmm.
usually there's still ones that mean something to me.
Right.
And also you just helped me out. So I'm going to help you right back.
Exactly.
I'm more likely to, seek out a bib from, I've run for Team Force, be Dragon Master, ACS. Obviously, I've definitely run for them too. I've never gotten a last minute bib from them, but I definitely, the Cerebral Palsy Alliance Research Foundation, if you can get a bib from them, they're great. Very helpful.
Yeah.
I felt a little sketchy because I did introduce myself over a text message to this person that I was like, hey, like, just so you know, like, I have a Dumbo Double Dare bib already. So like I will already be, I'm not just like across the country and like saying like I can be there I'm literally getting off the plane when I
Right.
sent this message. So like it's not just I'm not just like BSing you a little bit. But acquired the bib and then I went to go get my Dumbo Double Dare bib. So something to know about the Disneyland Expo is that it's smaller than the Walt Disney World ones. It's all at the Disneyland Hotel. It's within a couple ballrooms there.
Okay.
So the bib pickups upstairs and everything else is downstairs. And then the shoes are actually outside in the parking lot, the Brooks shoes.
Oh,
So it's covered tents. Actually, it was pretty cool back there. But
that's pretty neat.
so it's kind of like an ideal like place to like have like a quick expo experience. Then go downstairs to go collect my shirts and still, flabbergasted that that everything happened. And then I get to merch. And because I was working actually all day, like even while I was on the plane, but I was like in the office in the morning. So I was blissfully unaware with what really happened with merchandise.
Oh no.
It was like picked pretty clean. Like as bad as I think I've seen it. Yeah. I think part of it was the Dumbo, like it's the last Disneyland race for a while.
That's what I was
But
going to ask. Yeah.
because when I had done Halloween in the fall, I didn't get to the expo until noon on Friday. I flew in, I think I landed around like 8 o'clock. So it was no way I was going to make it to the expo. And I was like, I don't need to because I'm doing the challenge. I got all the metal replicas I wanted. There was maybe like one shirt or something that like had sold out already, but I was like, if I don't know about it that it exists until I get here, then I don't know.
Right.
That was another pretty close to last minute bib, a month out, and then I got the challenge a week out. So I was like, just happy to be here. And I got my metal replicas. This all pins pretty much gone. And like I did have a friend who lovingly yelled at me for this, but who was like, I would have gotten you your pins.
Yeah, you got to lean on people sometimes.
It was one of those things because I was fine in the fall and I didn't think about it. I didn't tell her what I would have wanted. So, because then her husband was back at the expo and he had a 5K metal replica in hand. And this was before I was confirmed on it. And I was like, this is going to jinx it. This is going to make it not happen if I get it, if this happens. So,
and it would have. So you made the right call.
Oh yeah. I would have been stuck in traffic, a rock and roller coaster style.
Yes, absolutely.
But no super stretch.
No super stretch. And no backstage passes.
Got to grab that black Les Paul. So it was pretty picked over. I got a tank top, which I later returned.
Okay.
I tried it on in the room and I was like, oh, this is way too big on me. And it was the last large even. So I ended up walking out with just a Magic Key magnet, which had Sorcerer Mickey on it. So,
oh, Sorcerer Mickey is a must.
Yeah. Which
that does surprise me.
They did have some jackets left, but I was some of those like, ooh, do I like $95 like that? And even with my discount, I was like,
yeah,
no. Like I liked them, but I was like, am I going to wear it enough? Considering like I put myself on a jacket ban. Actually, Disneyland, when I did it 2 years ago, the first weekend back, I bought two because I bought a windbreaker and then I bought another jacket. So I bought the Dopey sweatshirt last year, but I don't think I've bought a jacket since.
You did so good. You deserve a jacket as a reward.
I really do, but I'm going to have to really like it because it's still
right.
Once they bring back a beautiful, rich purple jacket for Dopey, like that's mine. That'll be mine. Because obviously, of course, I'm probably going to do Dopey next year again. But that will be mine. Because I also need a beautiful purple, rich Dopey shirt.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll start manifesting that now. Because I like that.
It was in 24, the year I didn't do Dopey.
Of course. See, this is the lesson. Always do Dopey.
Yeah. Hear that, Mr. Natalie? Always do Dopey. Always be Dopey.
Always do Dopey. Yes. And then you don't miss out.
That's so true. Because, like, I remember, I think, having this conversation with my spouse and at the time, and he was like, well, like, aren't you, like, kind of doing a Dopey? Because that was when the Coast to Coast was back to back. I was like, well, yes, but no. And he's like, but you've done Dopey. I'm like, yes, but it also says Dopey Challenge 2024 on there. If it said just Dopey Challenge, like, I'm like, yes, but it says 24, and that feels like stolen valor. And like, I've had a friend, like one of the fellow villains, who is like, you can have my Dopey shirt from that year. I'm like, yes, but it feels like stolen valor.
It doesn't count.
I'm like, yes, but I would feel weird wearing it.
Yeah, because you didn't do that specific Dopey. I get it.
Yeah.
I do.
She's so pretty, though. So, you know, she'll come back, I'm sure.
She'll come back. She's got to come back.
Exactly. At this point, I also realized I've lost my ID. Briefly, but it was only missing for me for about 10 minutes.
Where was it?
At the information desk, because I dropped it.
Oh, no.
I think what happened is that I put it down on my suitcase at one point, and then I like wheeled the suitcase away and it slipped off. But it was at the information desk, which is all like his bib or the shirt pickup and like kind of your merch / vendor expo are all in the same ballroom, just different sides. And there's like a middle part where there's like the information desk. And I'm like, do you have an ID that says it was missing maybe 10 minutes? Because I realized quickly when I was going to buy the tank top that I, again, later returned. And I was like, I don't have my ID. I was like, I knew I hadn't left the building yet. So I felt like fortunate in that. Like, I'm like, it has to be in here. And that's where it was.
And honestly, thank goodness. That could have been really not fun.
Yeah, that could have been a really special tickle on my way home.
Yeah. God.
From TSA. So very fortunate for that one.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
They had at the expo a Dole Whip. They had a Disney Plus lounge. This wasn't advertised in the event guide the way it was for Halloween, but they had like a Percy Jackson Disney Plus lounge.
That's so cool.
Oh, it's so freaking cool. But they also had a specialty Dole Whip in there. And at Halloween, it was a lime and you could put tequila in it.
Oh,
so I did.
Man.
And it was like Halloween. So it was green. But this one was blue and yellow. So it was mango and... Oh gosh, no, I'm trying to remember what the blue was, but it was really good. And so they don't have the beer cups the same way that the East Coast has them, but they had the little Dole Whip cups. So I got a Dole Whip.
That's so much better.
Yes. I love my little Dole Whip cups. They're so cute.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Yes, there was no tequila option for this one, but that was probably for the best.
Yeah.
I had made a Disneyland park reservation for that night, and I blew it off, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Because when I wasn't getting into the 5K, I was like, oh, maybe I will pop by I probably will pop by the expo, but then I'll like at least tap into the park and then, do something and then be on my merry way. Maybe I'll cheer in the morning. So whatever, what have you. But I blew it off. So I knew I was getting a strike on my Magic Key because you can't skip your reservations there. And I understand it, but I'll be good because I won't go in the next 90 days. So I can't miss a reservation. And I didn't miss another one all weekend.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But I haven't been to my hotel yet at this point. It's like 7:45. I'm eating the rest of my Dole Whip. Yeah, and still absolutely flabbergasted that I had gotten this bib. It's like, wow, what a magical start to the weekend.
Yeah, when did it really like sink in for you that you were going to run the 5K? Because obviously it was like such a quick kind of hectic thing.
Probably when I was looking at the clock going, it's like, I was getting into my hotel at like 8. I was like, I'm into my room at 8. I was like, I have to be up in not that many hours. So also probably when I was pulling out the flat lay too. So I stayed at the Hilton Anaheim this time. So it's the one in the convention center. And I've stayed here before, but I haven't stayed here for a race before.
Okay.
Both
How did you
times
like it for a race?
I liked it. Both times I was at the Homewood Suites off of Harbor. And this was like a little bit closer, just like a smidge, like a couple, maybe like buildings up. Like one less light to cross, but I liked it for the race. The only thing that I'd say was like in the con column was as compared to the Homewood Suites is that because it's at a convention center, they didn't really have like a little opportunity for like a little, like they had like a little pre-race thing, at the Homewood where they had like snacks, waters and stuff for the runners out versus this, like it's, they didn't really have as much space for it, which is fine. It really wasn't like a big deal. Like I didn't know where they would have put it, in such like a gigantic lobby with so much other stuff going on and whatnot. So that was completely fine. But I, enjoyed my stay. It was like, just like, welcome back, in a way. But it had been 6 years since I had stayed there, which is crazy to put that many years in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's a much longer time than I had realized.
Yeah, because it was my last trip. It was my last trip before the pandemic, before my first Princess. So I had stayed there since before I had done a Run Disney race.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, it sure is. I hadn't done a Run Disney race. I did on that trip upgrade my tickets to an annual passport, which is what they were called at the time. Which I ended up actually making money off of that because of with the closure, they just refunded you. And they didn't just refund me the difference of the percentage of days of my ticket upgrade. They just refunded me the percentage of what like I wasn't unable to use. I'm like,
which is incredible.
Probably because it would have been a lot of extra math to like for everybody to be like, did you use a ticket, ma'am? So I actually like, it was like more than the cost of like the upgrade. So
worth it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the one time in my life I could say that I actually made money on my pass.
And then you turned right around and used it for another pass.
Yeah, probably did go to my renewal for my Walt Disney World pass. Yeah, probably. Almost certainly, actually. Actually, no, because then the next month is when I got the Walt Disney World pass. So, yeah, we don't talk about it.
I mean, look, I have been there.
Yes.
Zero judgment.
We sure both have, but it was pulling out my costume for the flat lay, and then also I made like a little silly reel, like what's that? Like when a 5K bib just like appears on your bed. And I was like going to bed and like pulling my stuff out so that it was ready for the morning and like, and like, wow, I'm going to be tired, but it's fun, was probably when it hit. Like, wow, you're doing the 5K.
Which is exciting.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, you are very strict about bedtimes, which we'll come back to that. Just put a little pin in that one.
Oh, yeah.
But what did you end up doing about dinner that night? Because you were kind of goofed up with your flight and expo, everything.
We kind of didn't.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I had like kind of like heavy snacks and stuff. Like throughout my flight, I had brought stuff from home to like be prepared for that because I knew like, what's crazy about the flight from Omaha to LA? It's under 3 hours.
What?
Want to know what's crazier about the flight back? Good, skipping ahead. It's 2.5.
What?
That's how long the flight is between O'Hare and Orlando.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that broke my brain just a little bit because like, it's like, oh, you're about halfway across the country. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But like, no, I am.
You really are. Wow. Geography.
Yeah, true. It's like, okay. But because on the way back, I had always I usually fly out of John Wayne and then stop in Phoenix to then Omaha. But I had the direct and the direct worked great for me this time. So I was like, yeah, I'm taking the direct. And
yeah, that's lovely.
They had 2 directs that Monday. Who? Because usually it's like when it's a noon direct, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not missing that much park time. I'm not missing Metal Monday. But it was like a 5:30 p.m. one. So yeah, it was wild. Like I was like, wow, this is like such a short flight.
That's literally perfect.
Yeah, it honestly is. I'm like, okay, noted for next time.
Yeah.
There's always a next time.
There's always a next time.
Yeah. So like the Dole Whip was like kind of my dinner low key. Had some other, like I had like just kind of heavy snack type of situation.
We love it. A true girl dinner to prep for the 5K.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm only running 2 days this weekend, so not 4.
Yeah, you're fine.
Turned into 3.
Yeah. Does like eliminating that marathon make a big difference to you in these weekends? Not just the distance, because that's obvious, but just mentally preparing to only wake up 3 mornings?
Absolutely. I can't tell you the number of high fives I exchange with other runners of like, no marathon tomorrow. We get to sleep in tomorrow. We get to sleep, that's like the running joke. And usually it's at Princess where it's like, hey guys, guess what we don't have to do tomorrow? A marathon. And like, it's like one of those, like I could, but like at what cost type of, the third morning. And like the 3 mornings is still a lot of mornings to wake up. Cause let me tell you, 2 is pretty nice.
3 is a lot.
Yeah. Kind of living for that 2 life. If at this point, if I'm being honest with you, like both Halloween and Wine and Dime were 2ers. And I'm like, ooh, that's pretty nice. But it was definitely a sacrifice. I was really happy to make.
Yes. So worth it. So worth it on so many levels. I mean, getting to run, getting to support a great charity, you can't beat it.
Absolutely.
Let's then, with Natalie, we pretend to fall asleep. The alarm goes off. It's way too early. It's 5K morning. Take us through your 5K. First of all, your costume. Please share the costume because this is one of my favorites.
So I brought back my my marathon weekend half costume of Wanda.
Huge fan.
Because this whole time I was like, it's because Wanda's only been out at the 5s when I haven't done that 5 at Disneyland. And I'm like, that was part of the delusional, like, oh, I need to try to do this. So I'm like, okay, also either which way I was going to run through Avengers Campus. So Wanda.
Easy choice.
Wanda.
I love Wanda.
Oh, I love her so much. And, I just happened to have, the extra costume in my bag. But I told myself that because I was like, she's coming out for Disneyland for sure. How could I not?
Yeah, you have to. I do love that you just, had the foresight to be like, let me just throw this costume in my bag just in case.
It wasn't that many extra pieces. Like, it really wasn't that much extra of a lift. And then I was like, what's the worst thing that happens? I just don't use it. Or I don't use my other costume, my half costume, because my 10K one was set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing, and this is jumping ahead again, and it was like if when I was seeking the bib for Dumbo Double there, I'm like, if I'm doing the 10K again, I am absolutely bringing back Steamboat Willie.
Of course.
But we'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there. So,
for context, the race starts in Disneyland Park. Your start line is to the right of Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Oh, Just incredible.
Oh, it gets better. I'm in Corral C. And so I'm on Main Street. So last time I did this, I was in Corral A, and I started like right by the Matterhorn, right by the start, the start line, which was also incredible. But where I was this time, I was like just that like tip of Main Street in a way, which was amazing. And Disneyland 5Ks, the production value is amazing because they put on a full fireworks show, because this is the only race of the weekend that they can do fireworks because it's on Disney property.
Right.
And they're playing like Best Day of My Life.
No.
Oh, yeah. And I just start crying because it's like, what a magical start to the weekend of, well, the true start was Miss Piggy yoga the day before, but a magical start to my race weekend. A magical start to, this is the first time I'm back in the park since I became a Magic Key holder. Best day of my life of an experience I wasn't supposed to have until not 12 hours prior when I got a bit.
Oh my gosh.
And, they have, because the theme was joy from Inside Out. So it was like, they had all of like the memory orbs, and they had all of basically the, kind of projections all over Main Street, all over the castle. And again, they put on a fireworks show, like, and I mean like a pretty solid fireworks show, mostly at the chorus of the song where it's like, this is going to be the best day of my life. So I cried.
I would have been sobbing. An absolute mess. Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it to hit me in the feels that early, because I knew going into the weekend that it would be an emotional experience, right? It's the last set of races for who knows how long.
Right.
I want to say I'm more optimistic than most are on like how it coming back.
Yeah.
And when it will come back. I was like, what a special experience. And it was one of those things where it just felt right that I was there,
Yes. 100%.
Not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I was like, it feels like so, I feel so like right to do, like to like that I was meant to be here in a way. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Just amazing. And just everybody around me who were like, like just chatting with people, and, all the Inside Out costumes were so funny and so good. It was incredible. And I know that it's kind of hard to describe how just amazing and good it was. Just that, it's going to be the best day of my life.
That is truly, there's no better way to start an actual run weekend than that, I don't think. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. It is kind of funny because the start line, like it's like a balloon start line, like kind of like over your head.
Cute.
They don't have like they don't put up the whole like signage. That's all outside. But right. they go big for that because they have a big screen up there. But, get started. One thing to note about Disneyland 5Ks is that they yeet you. Actually, just Disneyland races in general, they yeet you onto that course. So get started. Go right, up to the Matterhorn, up near It's a Small World, which is kind of funny because it is the theme of the half, but it's closed.
Oh, no. She said, it's a small world, but you cannot ride it.
But not for you, actually.
Yeah.
I do the photo op right in front of It's a Small World, though. They had PhotoPass photographers, similarly to the castle shot where they have like 4 or 5 staggered. And they go, okay, 1, 2. Where this is like, I think, gotten progressively better with the Disneyland races is like PhotoPass is like, I don't want to say get in the picture, but because like out there, they don't know the same way as out Walt Disney World. Like it's not the same well-oiled machine out there because they've had what? 1, 2, 5. This was what, their 5th race weekend, like 5th race weekend since they came back, and now we're back on hiatus. Like I understand, but they did get kind of those tips where it was like, okay, spot 1, spot 2, spot 2, 3. And like there was a cast member directing you of which one to go to. So it looked like an awful line, but it wasn't bad at all. I waited maybe 5 minutes.
That's nothing.
Then you go backstage and then back into the park. I then met up with my friend KG, and then her friend Courtney. So KG was dressed as Anxiety, and the little glasses she had on when she had them down, she pretty much only had them down for PhotoPass, were hysterically funny. Like I couldn't look at her in the face because she was so funny. But she's like, and then she would also kind of make the pose like a shrug and
Perfect.
And KG and I haven't really seen each other on a race course. Oh gosh, it might be since the marathon in 23. We've had our play dates at expos, but I think it's been since, I don't know if we've run together since the 2023 marathon when we saw each other and then ran down Main Street together.
Wow, that's a long time.
And I'd love to fact check myself and see, because I know we've seen each other, but we haven't, I don't think it's been on the race course since then. So what a special moment. And then it was her first Run Disney race of the season, of the year. So it was special. She's like, I'm back. Yeah, I think it was, it was her first one since Princess last year.
Wow. Oh, it seems so far that a lot of this weekend that I'm excited to get more into it, but it feels like there's a lot of meant to be things happening. And I love that.
Oh yeah. And what's really great about this 5K course too, is it's the only 5K course where you get to run through a castle.
Incredible. I mean, there's just no words for how cool that is.
So freaking cool. And then we also, because backstage there, everything is backstage, basically they don't have the utilidors out in California. So all their stuff. Because I was thinking, wow, do they have their own flower and garden coming up? It's no, that's just where they keep the flowers when something dies unexpectedly.
Those are the backups.
Yeah, I didn't think, because I was thinking, because I've been to the greenhouses where they do store the planters and stuff as they're building them for flower and garden. I have been there when they used to have backstage magic, bring back backstage magic. But I've seen them starting to assemble those. We're oh yeah, maybe that. No, it's just literally where they keep their extra flowers when something dies unexpectedly.
Yep.
Oh, silly. We did get to see a horse though. The horses, and there was one named Jim, which is my father-in-law's name, which I got a kick out of. I had to make sure I got a picture of Jim, actually kind of looking at me.
Oh my God, perfect.
Because the horses are just right backstage. And so we go through, and then it's, pretty split between Disneyland and then California Adventure. We run through the Esplanade to cross over to California Adventure, and then go on down toward Hollywoodland, which kind of then leads you into Avengers Campus around mile 2 or so. I just see some other friends in Avengers Campus who are also dressed like Avengers. They were kind of mashup Avengers, which was super cool too. And ended up they're oh wait, no, you get in the, I was taking the picture for them in front of the Avengers A, and they're wait a minute, Natalie, you get in the picture too. So we had someone else take our picture and then go through Avengers Campus. The Red Guardian was out that morning, so up above the gift shop. That's where the new e-ticket ride will be near that area in Avengers Campus.
Yes,
where they're building behind there for I guess both of the rides, and that was pretty cool. So no Wanda, but it's okay. I have more mornings for it, and
true.
Then I catch back up to KG and her friend Courtney, because kind of basically I would stop and kind of lollygag, do something, then I would run back to get them, and then I would stop, do something. So this is very typical Natalie. And
yep,
we're exiting Avengers Campus, and basically what they do at Disneyland, and this is not an unknown thing, well, not unknown, but I feel I've heard about this every single weekend, is that because your start and finish are in the parks, they do course cut quickly.
Oh, interesting.
So there was a big contingent of people who had the Avengers Campus loop cut off, who were leading, because then
stinks.
KG and I were what's going on? And then I was oh, I think that's what it is. So there were technically balloon ladies on this course. I don't think it was enforced the same way that other stuff that when you on a 10K fall behind the pace, whatever, where they weren't kicking you off. They were just shortening the course for you.
Interesting.
Now, we were kind of just putzing around, to be honest with you. So like I was almost surprised I didn't get the cut. Not like too super duper surprised, but I knew I was not keeping like a 16 at that point because we were just playing. Right. That's just what we did. That's what girls just want to have fun. Okay. Exactly. So I like kind of basically it was just kind of like a swell of people coming like near like the Lunar New Year sign who did not go through, kind of basically like near where the Big Bear is, like kind of headed right toward Pixar Pier.
Okay.
It got a little snuggly after that on course, but there's not really all that much course left. So we kind of see Pixar Pier. It's beautiful. It's all lit up. You run on Pixar Pier every single race. I always smell the barbecue at lamplight, which is funny because I feel like it's not really a big barbecue place, but it's like you just like smell it a little bit, and it's like 6 a.m. It's like,
but by then you've been awake long enough where it smells good.
That is so true. And something I didn't bring up is that you can really kind of sleep in for Disneyland races. Not like a ton. Like let's not go crazy. But I don't think I left my hotel till like 3:30,
which is late for a Disney race.
It is. I think I got through security pretty quickly, and then they were a little delayed opening the gates to let us into a Disneyland park. So I think it was. So I even was like in line a little bit, like waiting. It was great, like to be let in. So like, because especially with this course, like you're basically in the Esplanade before they let you in. So like, it's not like there are characters to meet in that space because there's lots of people and stuff. So, anywho, back to the course. You run around Pixar Pier. There were lots of characters on this course. I didn't stop for any this time because the photo op was more important to me, and then just kind of having fun and seeing people and playing was more my priority here. And then kind of coming into the finish line, which again, the finish line is right off of Pixar Pier. So like kind of near Goofy Sky School.
Okay.
As you're exiting really the pier, that's where the finish line is.
That's wild.
So good. They do allow some spectators in. They allow like spectators on like the finish line. You have to be in by a certain point, but they do allow that. You collect your medal and stuff, and basically it is a little bit of a cluster there, but like in a delightful Disneyland way.
Yeah.
I just don't even know how better to explain it. Just because then, like, especially with the big swell of people, it was a little bit of a cluster, or kind of coming in. I did get a finish line photo, which I was surprised I did, because I was like, no way, but I did. And then it kind of just hung around. Like KG met up, or some of KG's friends that she had met up with, and I was just kind of like tagging along, and saw like kind of waiting like near, you could see Mickey's Wheel of Death in the background, that area, and it was great. Kind of hung around for a bit, and then they were kind of starting to kind of usher you out because it's like getting to be 7:00 at this point. So it's like, okay, like time to fly. They had us exit near where Grizzly River Run is, like kind of, and Soarin', like kind of, that's the way they let us, or let us out of the park and, back into the world. And I was like, it's enough time. So it wasn't quite 7 yet. I think I was like, it's enough time that like, I don't feel like I could like just sit here and wait to go into the wait like for Disneyland Park to open.
Yeah.
I was like, it's an hour and 15 minutes. So I would just be waiting outside the gate. And like, that's like, I'm not willing to do.
That's the limit.
I basically I didn't really even sweat. Like I just was vibing.
Right.
I was like, I don't feel stinky or whatever, shower, but I'm like, no, I need to like shower and like do some things. So I did walk back to my hotel, medal and stuff in hand, and just a wonderful, wonderful experience. With that, a 5K down.
Sounds, I mean, not to overuse the word, but it does sound magical.
It really, really was.
And that's just...
Now, I have a bone to pick with whoever said it was cold.
Okay. Now, hang on. Is this your Midwestern sensibilities coming out?
Like, yes, I had just left like very, very, very cold, but like at the same time, it was one of those, like, not just like the I will wear shorts in 40-degree weather, but if I'm running, but I was like, dang, whoever who said it was cold? And it wasn't even like somebody from SoCal, because I understand like when you're more like acculturated to a certain thing, but I'm like, who said this was chilly? But it was like walking. It was kind of good to know, because then I was like, oh yeah, I'm not wearing pants today. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I was already like, I wouldn't say toasty, but I was like warm for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no. Which was, it's good. It's good to find out, because last time I had done the winter races, the January races at Disneyland, it was chilly. It was beautiful, honestly, because it was perfect running weather. It was like 40, and when you're in the crowds, you're a little chilly. It's like 40 degrees, but then like you get out and you start running, and then it warms up quickly there. So it was beautiful. So I'd call this very beautiful running weather as well.
That sounds like pretty ideal running weather, honestly.
Yeah, it truly was. So go back to the hotel, change, shower, etc. Kind of like get some more things like out, because I'm like, okay, I need to like put my next flatty out.
Little refresh, get set up, the important stuff.
Oh yeah, I did change the glitter out.
Also important.
Red glitter because I like full showered because I needed it. It was like a full blown okay. You need it, girl. Type of thing. But I then get back on my way to California Adventure, and I did buy Lightning Lane this day, because I made I wouldn't say like a fatal error, because it really wasn't, in that I didn't exactly realize so the last few times I had pre-bought my tickets through Undercover Tourist, had Lightning Lane included, that's what I bought. So right. I thought to get my in-park pictures, because at Disneyland, your pictures are included for the race. Right. I thought to get my in-park pictures, I had to have Lightning Lane. Kind of forgot about the whole Magic Key thing.
Oh, no.
Because it's not like an add-on like at Walt Disney World.
Right.
Yeah, this was one of those, like, Natalie, you should have known better type of things. But I did use Lightning. It's not like I did not use it. Because I think as soon as I tapped back in, I booked for Mission Breakout, which was way later in the day.
Yeah, so that's perfect. And ended up working out then.
Yeah, exactly. So it was fine.
It's fine.
The first thing I did, I will say, was Lamplight Lounge.
Yes, that's the way to do it. I support it. What did you get?
I got a breakfast skillet, because it was brunch time. I had no idea what time it was. I mean, I did, but that's when the time stuff is just off. Yes. It was so good. It was like an egg white, like omelet skillet.
Ooh, love that.
As well as breakfast beer. And listen again, friends, I don't tend to really drink a ton, but it just kind of happens when you're at Disney and you have this magical, mystical 5K experience that you weren't supposed to have. And it's at Lamplight Lounge, and it was basically it was like an orange creamsicle ale that I had, which reminds me a lot of in college, like Shock Top as a beer, which I probably haven't had that since then, which is just orangey. I did really like it, except this is a little bit better of a beer, but I just was vibing.
So you were starting off strong. You don't know what time it is. You've got the beer in you.
I'm celebrating a milestone with the podcast, that hit the 20K before I went to the parks.
Which is huge. Huge.
Very thankful for all of you. So I'm just sitting here yeah, it's time for a brekkie beer. Mm-hmm. And it was super duper tasty. The bartender starts just referring to me as Nebraska. Hey, Nebraska, you doing good? Because she is looking, I was like, I bet you don't get a lot of Nebraska. She's like, no, we do not. Yeah. I can imagine.
Not surprised.
I'm watching them test Incredicoaster, which by the time y'all are hearing it, it's back open. But I was sitting here delulu, maybe.
Yeah.
They're going to soft launch or soft open.
Oh, I would have been doing the exact same thing.
And as the breakfast beer goes down, I'm like, yep, they're probably doing it.
Of course.
Down the hatch. So I have myself a little time there. I could have licked the plate clean if I weren't in public. Also, I don't actually lick the plate, but it was it was delicious what I ate. And I sent it to Mr. Natalie, and he was like, ooh, that looks really good. I'm like, yeah, it was really, really good. So I'm like, I was like, there's a reason Lamplight is like my favorite.
Yes. Did you say, yes, it looks really, really good, and you could have it if?
Yes, when?
It's just like, start setting that up.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's important. Start teasing him with all the things he's missing not at Disneyland.
Exactly. Well, all I got to say is the words churro and toffee, and then...
That's true.
He's pretty in on that. Man. Also, direct flight, and then churro, toffee.
And he's sold.
He's pretty sold.
Now you can add Lamplight Lounge.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So I am kind of just putzing around at this point, as one is wont to do. And I just kind of wander, and I'm like, I wonder what characters are out on Pixar Pier. And I'm just waddling. I have a roadie with another beer. And because it was Lunar New Year, Panda Mei Lin was coming out.
No.
And I just end up in this line. I like probably did wait like 40 minutes for it to come out, but I'm sure this is shocking, just talking.
What? You?
Never. Comes by in a flash. And I did see two listeners. They were like, let me chat with the lady in front of me. And then they're like, oh, hi, Natalie. I was like, it was wonderful to see them, but it was very funny. And I said this to them. I was like, man, y'all always catch me with my Lamplight roadie. Because after Halloween, I also had myself a time at Lamplight Lounge. And I had a roadie. Because I don't even remember it was a stout that they had them. Oh, it was so good. Because I remember it was lovely to meet them. It was lovely to then just chat with them too. But I was like, you always catch me with my roadie.
I'm keeping you honest.
Honestly. And again, like I tend to really not drink too much during race weekends and whatnot. But like, I was kind of like, again, I'm here for vibes, here for fun, just to kind of get the completion level. And then, I was getting my grocery order delivered with my water too.
So there you go, you're fine.
But Panda Mei Lin was so freaking cool.
That's amazing.
I was like, wow, what a happy accident that this happened.
That's so cool. So worth the wait, too.
Oh, yeah. Because then they had the toy soldiers come out, too, while in the interim. So they did a little show where they're like their little 10, playing the drums and whatnot, the same way they do in Hollywood Studios and Toy Story Land. So they came out as a little intermittent show too. And then I probably didn't wait all that long. And it was, again, it's a super duper rare character meet. I saw two of the kids from Luca kind of came out, and like, it's just how Disneyland works, where they just kind of appear and characters just appear around, and it's great. It's amazing.
It really adds to the park vibe.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely love it. And they're just, it's just so, it's mostly laid back. Like, yes, there was like a line for Panda Mei Lin, but it's just very laid back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fun. So, all right. So you see Mei Lin. About what time do you think this is now?
About 11 o'clock. Because I knew at this point, because I knew she wasn't coming out till 11. And I was like, yeah, I can wait.
Yeah.
That sounds like that sounds fine. I knew that I had plans to go back to the expo, but I did also, during this time, like while I am waiting, I am still smashing my lightning lanes. Like planning lightning lanes is what I mean by that. So I had a Web Slingers lightning lane before, because I knew I wanted to go back to the expo. Because I wanted to see if I was going to get lucky with like a little bit of a restock on merch of any sort. I'm like, maybe they'll restock. Okay. Well. And so I play Web Slingers, and let me just say, I'm in the pocket. Okay. I'm in the pocket. That's just where I am. And like, I'm cooked. But let me tell you what the most fun way to play Web Slingers is. Absolutely cooked.
I'm just going to make myself a little note to only play you in Web Slingers in this specific instance.
Oh, guess who won the car?
No. Oh, so I just have no hope. I have no hope. All right, that's fine.
I think because I also have no inhibition. I have a lack of inhibitions when I'm a little inebriated. So I'm just whipping my little spider fingers like boom, 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 boom. I'm cooked.
Oh, I can picture it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely won our car. By a good
That's
amount, a good margin as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not very good at web slingers either.
Okay, so
Sober.
never mind. I'm just never going to play with web slingers.
Well, we all beat the spider bot together. Duh.
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely smashed my car. And then I basically just like, because I was, as a single rider, I was using Lightning Lane, but as a single rider, I basically get into this into a pod with like the group of 3, a family, say nothing. Like, I mean, I'm like, hello, whatever. And then cook and then leave because then you're on the end. So you're the last in and then you're the first out. You are LIFO. And I just cooked and then I left.
This is amazing because, like, in my mind, you're like the enigma of this family's vacation, right? Like, they're like, do you remember when we went on web slingers and that girl like came in, said hi, crushed us all, and then just walked away?
It's like one time when my whole team was in town for work, including my coworker who's international. We played this it's like kind of mini bowling. And, my husband was with me, my boss and his kids, whatever. And basically, like, Mr. Natalie was kind of in the, we were kind of like standing toward like the back of our little like lane type thing. Like, kind of like, he's like trying to be like, okay, just think of it like Wii bowling. Just think of it like Wii bowling because he's better at it than I am. And he was like, we thought there were going to be dinner, but then just kind of, it was like, oh, we'll see each other in the office tomorrow. And he was like, dang, I really probably should have socialized like a little bit better, but I kind of thought that this was like whatever. And I remember my coworker goes, no, he did what he needed to do. He came, he won, and he left.
Yes.
So I am my husband's wife.
You two certainly are made for each other.
In a lot of ways. Yes, where we both have kind of came, saw, conquered, left.
Yep. Oh my God, that's incredible.
But yes, that is my web slinger story. Second time in a row again. I was absolutely cooked last time I wrote it too, which now I'm like, I know I have written it like not in the pocket too, but like, is it kind of just more fun this way? It might be. I'm gonna have to do like what I threatened to do in Animal Kingdom of doing the animation experience in the morning, day drinking, and then doing it again.
Yes.
But I'm gonna need to do that with web slingers where I'm gonna have to do it in the morning, go to Lamplight, and then come back.
And see how your score changes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know anything about it. Like, it's not like I know, like, I know the targets on Buzz Lightyear. Like, I know, Buzz Lightyear.
Let's not bring that up.
No, it's a sensitive subject. But yeah, it's an enigma. That's just how I web slinger.
Genuinely incredible.
So at this point, park hopping's open.
Yep.
So I go over to Disneyland Park and I was like, what can I do? I was like, cause it's a little toasty out. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see the, show, where the Walt animatronic, but it's like 18 minutes till next thing. I'm like, nar.
What time?
I mean, the expo had also just opened back up at this point. And I was like, again, delusionally hopeful that I'm going to get like certain merch. If I go back in a timely manner. So like, no. So what I do is then I kind of book it to the monorail, and then take the monorail to the Disneyland Hotel, which is kind of nice because it's an in-park to like right outside Disneyland Hotel,
super
monorail situation. And I go back to the expo and, I am not finding merch restocked, which again, I wasn't super surprised about. I think this was the point at which I ended up buying the Magic Key magnet. I think it was the night before. I hadn't like kind of thought about, because I actually don't usually buy magnets, but the last two race weekends I bought the dopey one, and then I bought this one because it was basically the only other piece of merch I could get. And then I profoundly feel sorry for myself that I cannot get merch. So what do I do? I buy shoes.
Yep. Okay.
It was premeditated because
Uh-huh.
I knew they were adrenaline 25s and I run in adrenalines. So I kind of knew I was going to buy them. And then I had this debate leading into packing with the whole like, will she, won't she with the 5K
Mm-hmm.
where I was like, I'm bringing one pair of running shoes, one pair of like, park shoes and then UFUs. And I was like, I kind of will need to like have another pair of shoes. Like I basically like, I had planned for that. But basically I felt like I had the full go ahead to get myself a little toy from Disneyland of running shoes.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about, you saved all that money with the merch that you couldn't buy.
Exactly.
So
a jacket
had to go somewhere.
could never heard of her.
So you had to get the shoes.
Oh, and then me wilding out continues with the shoes a little bit. So I go in, I did the shoe try on, even though I knew my size I was, because I've never tried on glycerins before, and glycerins are the stitch shoes, but I've actually never tried them on before, but it's been enough years that I didn't remember what they felt like, just so I had like a feel for what the glycerin 22s were. Not that I knew I was coming in for it was like the stars aligned with the adrenaline 25s being the Disneyland shoe. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I said, I was texting my mom during this point, and she's like, wow, that's kind of like crappy that like all the Dumbo merch was gone by the Friday of the expo. And I like sent her a picture of my shoebox, and I was like, don't feel that sorry for me. Don't worry. Damage was done.
You still got yourself a little treat.
Oh yeah, a little treat for being good. And so then I go back to my hotel. I did Uber this time from Disneyland Hotel just because I'm like, I do not want to be walking in Anaheim with this giant shoe bag. Like, I'm good. Yeah. There are some people in the parks with them. I'm like, bless your soul, because no.
No, that does not sound fun.
And last time I bought shoes was springtime last year, and I broke the bag. I bought 2 pairs of shoes, and the bag strap broke. So I'm like, I know that this is a little, maybe have fixed that, but I was like, I know this is a little sensitive, so like I'm just doing that. So then and then I also got my grocery order in, and so that I just was getting water, Powerade, and then some protein bars, and I'm like waiting around. But then also the Crown Athletics had their pop-up, and I had said to myself I wasn't going to go, but then I heard that there were things in bargain bins at Crown.
Oh.
And bargain bins are 50% off. And usually some of the older styles. So I get like 2 virtual queues that get called, and then like they're like, please make it back in 15 minutes. I'm like, I am still waiting in this Uber. So I'm like in my Uber still. So then I get to the Crown Athletics pop-up. There's a couple, they have like their newer like Disneyland pieces. They had the Mickey and Friends ones, which really cute in person. And then some of the essentials. But then I go to the bargain bins and I get a couple tops. Or I got a top, a bra. I got the bra that was like the Force Fighter one, like the Ray kind of style one, which nice. I have the flow tank to, and then a pair of bike shorts. So I'm like, dang, I feel like I won. Because like the bike shorts are really nice, but they haven't had them in their newer launches since they went Disney. And I wonder if it's just a product offering they're going to get back to. And I don't know. I can't really predict kind of what's going to go on there, but this is kind of technically their last pop-up, obviously on the West Coast, but since they're going to be at the expo starting at Princess.
Wow, that's exciting.
It is exciting. I am very curious to see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very interesting.
So I am curious. I am super curious to see how it goes. It's really exciting for them too that they're going to be in there. I just am like, dang.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I then decide to go back to the parks. I decide that it's small enough to fit in my backpack. And at this point, you start mocking me because you're like, are you even at Disneyland right now? Because I don't actually know.
All I'm saying, at that point, I get to receive a picture, by the way.
Yeah, that is true. Besides, yeah, that is true. I understand the hesitation to believe me. At this point in time, I mobile ordered a mac and cheese and a bread bowl, a sourdough bread bowl.
Oh man,
which is exactly what you want to eat when it's really hot out, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's like prime heat food.
Yes, and then I'm in full sun as I'm eating it too because there wasn't really space near because I got it at it's the quick service that's next to Jolly Holiday. I almost just called it Restaurantosaurus. Okay, rip in peace though.
Oh no.
Oh, refreshment corner because it has a very So the Restaurantosaurus wasn't the worst thing I've ever called it.
Yeah, no, that was close.
But yes, refreshment corner. I'm like, because like I was like, I need something with like some carby in it, but yeah, it was actually it was pretty good. I just was like, it is very hot, and I am eating. Well, it's not as bad as when I was eating literal soup when it was 95 degrees at Halloween from Jolly Holiday.
Yeah,
it was like a corn charter.
Choice.
Oh, it was so good though. Even though I'm sitting here, I'm like, I almost need an ice cube for this, like just to like. But it was so tasty. It was like it was like a fall special too.
I mean, I do believe that.
So at this point, I do something I haven't done in a Disney park since 2024.
Oh boy.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah! Wow.
At which point I finally convinced you that I am in a park. And I'm on the West Coast.
You are in fact there. We can confirm your location. Oh man, how was it?
It was delightful because it was down for refurbishment starting later the day before the Halloween races in September.
Wow.
So I was as a very nice little pest, I was making Maz guess what exactly I was doing. With the clue of I haven't done this since 2024.
Yeah. So that leaves a lot of things that I could have guessed. I did guess Big Thunder, didn't I? Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think my logic was I'm going to guess my favorite things. And so I just went straight to Big Thunder.
Which I knew you would get.
That's fair.
I absolutely knew you would get. So I did Big Thunder Mountain, made uncomfortable eye contact with the goat.
Heck
and
yeah.
It's uncomfortable for the goat, not me. And I really want to do the goat as a costume somehow, but I also don't know how to emulate like me like holding like a dynamite stick in my mouth.
That would be so
unless
fun.
I like
What if you got like, you know, the headphones, like the headsets that have like the microphone? You could like put a stick of dynamite looking thing around that.
Dang, that's not even where I was like, maybe I could try to do special effects makeup and have the dynamite like coming out of my face.
Oh, you could
or
do that
like
too.
a goat head or like a goat head on top of my head with a dynamite. Like we could workshop this.
I do kind of want to see you wearing a giant goat hat, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I saw someone dressed up with it as a headpiece where they had the goat on a rock as their headpiece. That was really
so
cool. Because I think that was the 10K because I feel like I ran by them a couple times and then I finally realized it was the goat.
Oh, I love that. I love the costumes.
Oh, man, people ate this weekend. So good.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So then I do something I don't normally do when I'm at Disneyland. And that is going into Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
I just don't do it because it's identical to the East Coast, except for just like some of the entrances, whatever, are a little different. And then, yes, if you go, they have the pink milk. And they have like their Oga's is different, but their Oga's was shut down, was under for refurb. So especially then Rise was also down on the West Coast. So I was like, okay, like it was under refurb. I'm like, what do I have? But I came in for two specific things. Well, actually, no, one specific thing. And then the other one just worked out. I was there to find Ahsoka.
Yes.
And this is the first time I've really effectively used the character locator on the app because like, you know, I went, you go to your map and then you click characters and it'll say like, oh, next meet time. So I knew Ahsoka was coming, but then Mando was there first with Baby Yoda. And I have done a Mando meet, but it was during a race. So this was just, again, it was so just like up front or like, just like, kind of just it's so casual there. It's just that Mando's out doing his like I don't know like getting his groceries or whatever with Baby Yoda and like you just happened upon him and the Baby Yoda is really freaking cute. It's really cute. He moves. The movement was the coolest part. So I took a very awkward picture with Mando and Baby Yoda with like my Crowned Athletics bag behind me. Like kind of like it was fun. It was funny. And then just kind of enjoyed the little vibe around Galaxy's Edge. And I'm like, I got my second wind at this point because I remember earlier I was like, I need a nap. Oh, I completely forgot a side quest I did.
Tell me.
So when I was coming back to the parks post Crowned meetup, that was at the JW Marriott, I popped into Pixar Place because my boss's challenge for me this weekend was Bing Bong.
Oh, that's right.
And I was given a tip that Bing Bong was at Pixar Place. And also I know that that's basically where you find Bing Bong. But he was out as soon as I got there. So perfect. I got my picture with Bing Bong with my 5K medal on, by the way.
Perfect.
I was a happy camper, a very happy camper. This is the fastest I've ever completed a challenge for my boss.
He's going to make them real hard now.
Oh, no, he does make... Bing Bong already is pretty hard. Because he's only at Disneyland. But I think Olaf when they were still easier because it was a Frozen themed race, but I didn't tell him that. So Olaf I got at the expo.
Did you hold off on that?
I mean, I just kind of like now they get harder, but okay. There's more on the challenges later though.
Okay.
And that's when what I did after that is that I walked to Disneyland Hotel and then I was going to take the monorail. But the monorail was down. So actually I was convinced because then this happens again later. I was kind of convinced that the monorail was basically one way. Like I know it's not, I know it's a full loop, but at the same time, it happened twice where I could not get back on the other side of the monorail. I'm like, is this a one way? Like, I don't know.
I think they're lying to you.
Just a little bit.
Happening. Yeah.
But their downtown Disney is really, and it is downtown Disney, is not very far to walk through. So it was not a big deal at all. To be walking. Something I started this dopey was actually bringing like not just beater shoes to be my walking shoes.
That's smart.
My feet were very happy about that after dopey. So I made sure I took care of my feet for this as well.
I'm really proud of you.
But yeah, when I was making that walk, I'm like, I need a nap. It's like 4:00 p.m. It's like, you don't nap at this point, sweetheart. So I did have a cherry Coke as well, which was very, very tasty. It hit. They just hit sometimes. And after that point, I think I did have a Space Mountain Lightning Lane that I just abandoned.
Yeah. Because
it was like, okay, now, because I got Ahsoka, and let me tell you how beautiful she was.
Yeah.
Literally beautiful. Where it was funny because KG and I ran into each other then because we were both literally hunting like basically just waiting for Ahsoka in different spots. We're kind of just the way that they kind of just meander around and they wander around where we were both waiting for her in different spots.
That's perfect.
Like opposite spots. She's like, because then KG's walking my way. I can see because, you know, the big like alien tentacle things on her head. And she's like, she is beautiful. And she was so right. She was beautiful. I would believe it was Ashley Eckstein.
Oh, wow.
Like, she's so pretty. The makeup, so good. Oh, my God. She was so freaking good. I was obsessed.
That's amazing. So now you've completed your crazy Galaxy's Edge expedition.
Yeah, I yeeted myself right out of there, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You didn't stick around. You didn't try any pink milk or anything like that. You're like,
I didn't think about the pink milk till later, and I was like, well, whatever. I was like, it is getting close to the witching hour. The fact that I'm still here is absolutely wild. Because then I go toward the front of the park. I get my buttons so I could celebrate, you know, my 20K. And then also I wanted to get some pictures like with my medal on, with PhotoPass. And then I also see Clarabelle, the cow, on my way out. So yes, I wait for your girl.
Of course.
Because she's in her 70th wear.
Well, it's a law.
Like, Diva, okay, you're right there. You're absolutely fabulous. Like, yes, absolutely. Do I do that? So I get my picture with her, and then it literally is actually time for me to go night-night.
And what time was this?
6:00.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because I remember being like, oh my gosh, it's 5:10. Like, I'm looking at timestamps right now. It's 5:10. I'm in the park still, and, you know, I'm taking my picture with Clarabelle. And then it's like by 5:58 is my flat. Am I in my room with my flat layout? Like, and I don't think I had the full thing out before I went to the parks. I might have, and I don't remember. But it wasn't like Like that's at Walt Disney World, that's almost like unheard of.
That's almost impossible. Yeah.
Maybe you're staying at the Contemporary where you're walking distance.
Most places.
Because it's like a 15-ish, 20-minute walk. I think I could have cut through the parking garage, but I didn't feel like I wanted to do that on my own because I didn't Uber. I had Ubered with my shoes. I'm like, I'm not going to do it again. But I'm like, unfortunately, the cherry Coke I had caught up with me. And then I was a little bit like, I was laying in bed like, hee hee, hee hee, hee hee, couldn't sleep. So I probably didn't get to bed till like 8 or like fall asleep till 8:45. But I was like in bed, lights off, like kind of resting.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you were like in that zone of like trying to calm down.
Yes, I was. And I know I did. Yes, I did eat dinner that day because I know I was trying to make sure I like didn't have the same mistake as the day prior.
Yeah.
Earlier that morning, I should say, or actually really before the marathon for Dopey. We're going to stop right there and then save the rest of the recap for next week. Before I get to the outro and such, I have actually a review to read. This comes from Susie in Stride, so thank you for leaving this. She says, Stride Sisters podcast is both informative and entertaining. I always get a kick out of listening to these ladies and truly identify with so many of the Run Disney experiences they share. They keep me company during my long commute to and from work, and I genuinely look forward to every new episode. It feels like listening to running friends who just get it. So thank you again for leaving that. It's reading reviews like that is just incredible, and it just, that I can have any kind of impact on your lives as listeners and your running journey and your commute, making it a little easier. It's definitely not something that I take for granted that I'm able to do. So thank you so much for that. Now, if you guys have any questions or things you'd love for me to address for part 2 of the Disneyland recap, please let me know and I will get to them. For next week, Maz will be back to chat with me some more as the Disneyland expert, I'd say, of the two of us, for sure. That, yeah. And if we don't get him to him next week, or you're kind of listening a little later than I record, but we'll get to him. I will try. I'll try to make sure I address. If you enjoy listening to our show, please leave us a review and a 5-star rating. We love reading your reviews out loud. You might even be featured on a future podcast episode. We have a community spotlight on our Instagram at Stride Sisters Podcast. If you want to be featured for a Medal Monday, Finish Line Friday, or any accomplishment you want to celebrate, send us a picture via our social media platforms or our email. And to continue the fun, join us on our Facebook page. All the ways to connect with us can be found in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Until our next adventure, we're wishing you endless miles of magic and memories. See you next time.